critical for this meeting generally. Seated with us here, Secretary General KUJ. I don't know whether I'll get at some point, but please, KUJ SG, Eric Oduor. Association of Media Women in Kenya, Executive Director, Queen Tambori. Managing Director wa kituo cha baba na mama na mwenyekiti wa Media Owners Association. Haya tukuja kwa ministry kidogo on behalf of PS. Government, because we join a few things, government has critical people. After the PS, there are people who work immediately after the PS in our department. And I think there are 3 secretaries around. One is Temesi Mukani, Secretary Information and Broadcasting. Hawa ni wale watu, ukisikia mtu anaitwa secretary kwa serikali, si secretary hapo kwa ofisi. Is a person anaandika barua anasema for PS. Haya, kuna tena Secretary Public Information. Ama ni Public Communication? Public Communication. Please, Madam Patricia. Nimesikia kuna manaitwa Secretary Posts and Telecommunications. Poleni. Sasa, alafu kuna mwingine sasa. Secretary Administration. Bwana Waweru Kimani. Allow me to introduce Mzee Lin Jiru, friend of the media. Karibu sana. A part of conversations here and everyone else. So it's not that anybody else is less important, it's that we need to recognize them, isn't it? We have the person in charge of MyGov, Madam Lilian Kimeto, CEO Kenya Yearbook Editorial Board. Thanks for joining us. Wale wengine sitawataja kama, I will not mention people like Judy Kaberia from the Friedrich Newman Foundation. I will not mention Zao Yamusau, Friedrich Newman, they support us all the time. I will not mention people who are away, Zitawataja and all that. I wanted to say one thing only. We are meetings editors, and this is state opening, but is founded on the principle of trust. I will not mention Bwana Gitobu Imanyara, sijamuona. The foundation of trust is that when footballers get onto a field, there is a referee who blows a whistle and saying that was offside or that was a foul, isn't it? The players don't necessarily agree. They shake their hands and do that, isn't it? But they know that this person, he is not malicious. He is doing something for the good of the game. That if you have a game and 2 parties are competing, you need someone who moderates that. So, Madam President, Waziri, PS, that if we move forward, we will not always be in the same camp. The media sector and government will interact. Please underline the following: from time to time. Sikila siku tusizoeana, isn't it? But if you do that on a principle of trust, that everybody does their part, but you understand that the media did their part, as Waziri was telling us earlier, that don't be too friendly with government. Keep government in watch, isn't it? But do it professionally and ethically. So we urge that as we discuss matters of trust, as we discuss matters of collaboration and all that, we will be learning that it is always good for the several parts of a whole body to either disagree or have an issue or two, but it's founded on trust and protecting each other's space. So I wish that the sessions we are doing here will help us open our minds, will help us build close networks, and will help us build a bigger country, because there is no Kenya for the media and Kenya for the government and Kenya for Kenyans. It's one Kenya for all of us, and that collaboration will be critical for us going forward. Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's appreciate Omoyo once again. And I think we proceed then very quickly. I'll invite the President of the Kenya Editors Guild to the stage to make remarks. And President,
Asante sana, Prof. Let's appreciate Prof once again. Good morning. Mko salama? Aki mbona mmechoka hivi jamani? Mko sawa? Mko sawa? I'm so happy to see all of you. Lakini kabla nizungumze, please allow me to invite SG to say a word. Kuja salimia watu wako SG. Tumkaribishe na makofi tafadhali. We'll give him a minute, 2 minutes to say hello. Unajua wewe ni mtetezi wa haki zetu.
Asante sana. To the CS, Honorable William Kabogo, PS Stephen Isaboke, CEO Media Council, President Kenya Editors Guild, Mwenyekiti Media Owners Associations, Executive Director Amwick, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Leo sio siku yetu, ni siku ya President. So it's your day. First of all, to congratulate Kenya Editors Guild for organizing such a wonderful convention, and also congratulating myself because I'm also a member. So having said that, we're really happy to be here. We've engaged. We have always presented our issues to you. You've always listened to us, because I usually say that if we present our issues and you listen to us, we'll make progress. But if we present our issues and they are not listened to, we have got a way and means of making you listen and act. But for now, the engagement is working. And let us continue to engage. There is no industry that can prosper if you do not engage and address the problems within that industry. So number one priority for us is to engage positively like we've done. And we'll be coming back just to look at how can we move the industry forward. Once again, congratulations Kenya Editors Guild. Congratulations Madam President for organizing such a wonderful convention. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana SG. Please, let's appreciate him more. Sawa. Asanteni sana. CS, Ministry of ICT and Digital Economy, Honorable William Kabogo. PS, Ministry of ICT, Mr. Stephen Isaboke. Our host governor, who will be joining us later, CEO, Media Council of Kenya, and Chair of Association of Press Councils, Mr. David Omoyo. Members of the Diplomatic Corps and Development Partners, our sponsors and supporters, Eric Oduor, Secretary General KUJ, CEO KBC, Madam Kaleche Agnes, CEO Cape Media, Mwenda Njoka, Executive Director Amwick, and all chairs of different media associations present, the Executive Council, KEG Secretariat, Convention Planning Committee, fellow editors, journalists, distinguished guests, all protocol observed. Good morning once again. It is my profound honor to welcome you to the 8th Annual Editors Convention, the premier gathering of media leaders and defenders of truth. Honorable CS, your presence here reaffirms an important principle, that the government and the media are not adversaries, but partners in advancing the national values enshrined in Article 10 of the Constitution: transparency, accountability, good governance, and the rule of law. We thank you sincerely for joining us. This year's theme, Truth, Trust, and Technology, the place of journalism in the digital era, invites us to reflect deeply on the changing information ecosystem. Technology is reshaping how stories are told, how audiences consume news, and how truth competes with distortion. It offers immense opportunity, but also immense responsibility. I urge all journalists and editors to embrace technology boldly, but use it ethically to enhance fact-checking, elevate truth, and innovate without compromising credibility. Last year in Nakuru, during a convention graced by Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki, we raised critical concerns affecting the media industry. While progress has been made, challenges including journalist safety, media sustainability, regulatory inconsistencies, modernization and strengthening of KBC, and online harassment remain unresolved. We urge the government to rededicate itself to addressing these issues. Journalism is not merely a profession. It is a public service that delivers a vital national good. Kenya's media remains among Africa's most vibrant. Our journalists tell the stories that matter. Digital innovation continues to transform reporting from mobile journalism to data storytelling and advanced fact-checking tools. But this progress is overshadowed by shrinking budgets, delayed salaries, job insecurity, burnout, declining advertising revenue, and increasing threats and intimidation. This moment demands bold leadership that recognizes the irreplaceable role of journalism in a democracy. Bwana CS, the Gen Z protest exposed the vulnerability of journalists. More than 20 were injured, some targeted deliberately. Cameras were smashed, equipment destroyed, and female journalists faced threats of sexual violence. Catherine Wanjeri, shot 3 times at close range, continues to heal and continues to wait for justice. We also highlight the case of Eric Isinta. 3 years later, Eric equally awaits accountability and closure. Their stories, captured in our mini documentary, reflects resilience and sacrifice, but justice remains elusive. Our gratitude goes to CGTN, whose steadfast support over the last 3 years has helped us produce compelling documentaries that inform, educate, and inspire. Thank you for your continued collaboration and commitment to excellence. And the lead producer, Yolante, is in the house, together with the leadership from CGTN. We deeply, deeply appreciate you. Bwana CS, we request a renewed commitment to journalist protection, fast and transparent prosecution of perpetrators, a joint rapid response mechanism between Interior, Kenya Media Sector Working Group, MCK, IPOA, and ODPP. Protecting journalists is protecting democracy. Bwana CS, the greatest threat to media freedom today is economic suffocation. Delayed government advertising payments, GAA centralization, big tech dominance, and declining revenue have weakened newsrooms. We propose the following interventions. Liberalize government advertising. Allow ministries, departments, and agencies to directly procure advertising from accredited media houses to reduce delays and depoliticize the process. Number 2, establish a National Media Sustainability and Innovation Fund to support newsroom modernization, fact-checking, digital transformation, and investigative reporting. Number 3, a fair digital policy for big tech. Require global digital platforms to share revenue generated from Kenyan journalistic content. Reinvest a portion of recovered proceeds of corruption to strengthen fact-checking desks and investigative journalism. Targeted tax relief for importation of broadcast equipment, digital infrastructure, printing supplies, and training tools. Establish a national media center, a national hub for training, innovation, media literacy, co-regulation, and coordinated communication. As we push for sustainability, however, we appeal, and once again I say, we appeal to media houses. Prioritize the welfare, dignity, mental health, and timely payments of your staff. This year, we mourn colleagues who passed away, some under immense stress. We honor their memory and their service. A thriving media begins with thriving journalists. Strengthening KBC as a public service broadcaster. Honorable CS, once again, we call for strengthening of KBC. We urge the government to modernize KBC's infrastructure, ensure predictable public funding, protect editorial independence, expand public service content, transform KBC to a modern, competitive public broadcaster. A strong KBC strengthens national identity, cohesion, and education. Regulatory clarity. Media regulation continues to suffer from overlapping mandates. We request legislative alignment between CA and MCK, protection of media self-regulation, and a regulatory environment that supports, not stifles innovation. Looking ahead to the 2027 general elections, as we look toward the 2027 general elections, the role of the media becomes even more essential. Elections amplify disinformation, online harassment, political intimidation, threats to journalists, and the need for accurate, verified information. We urge the government to work closely with the media to strengthen preparedness, enhance safety, protect journalists, support fact-checking and civic education, uphold free and fair coverage. Strong media strengthens elections. Strong elections strengthen democracy. Africa Media Convention 2026. Honorable CS, we appreciate the ministry's support in our bid to host the Africa Media Convention in 2026. Tunashukuru sana for your continued support. Our commitment as editors. In our ongoing resolve to build the capacity of journalists, KEG has continued to invest in knowledge, development, and specialized training. We have developed a manual on climate change reporting, which is now being used at Daystar University as part of their curriculum, and Daystar University is well represented here. Professor Levy is here in the house. We deeply, deeply appreciate you. We also have launched a new handbook on biotechnology reporting through our partnership with the AATF, and they're also represented here. We say a big thank you. In the coming days, we will begin developing a manual on trade, transport, and infrastructure reporting, an area that is increasingly critical to Kenya's economic transformation agenda. We appeal for support in developing this handbook. These initiatives reflect our commitment to strengthening the quality, depth, and relevance of journalism in Kenya. However, KEG is purely member and donor-funded organization. Our programs and products serve the public good. For KEG to continue delivering high-impact training, developing new knowledge, resources, and sustaining our next-gen initiatives, we have several Gen Zs in the house that we are supporting through training. We humbly appeal to the people of Kenya, people of goodwill, and the government to support this important national duty. And we appreciate FNF as well for supporting us in our calls. Asanteni sana Judy and Nzao, asanteni sana for your support. On our part, we want to commit to uphold the highest ethical and professional standards, strengthening newsroom leadership, embracing AI and digital innovation, and supporting mental health and safety. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the global landscape is shifting with rising populism and shrinking civic space. These trends threaten media freedom. But the Kenya media stands strong. We will defend our democratic space with courage. When the media thrives, the nation thrives. When journalists are safe, citizens are safe. When truth is protected, democracy is protected. Thank you for honoring us, all of you, with your presence. I also would like to take this opportunity to invite you all to our gala dinner tomorrow, where we will unwind, network, celebrate excellence, and honor outstanding journalists and editors as we award them for their exceptional work. Asanteni sana for your attention. God bless you all, and feel at home. Thank you so much for being here. Kindly now allow me to invite Bwana PS, Mr. Isaboke, to make his remarks, and also invite the Cabinet Secretary. Please let's invite him to the stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Kanano. Your Excellency Waziri, the CS for ICT, Honorable William Kavogo, the Chair of Kenya Editors Guild, a couple of CEOs present, Media Owners Association Chair, and the rest of the Media Owners Fraternity. Good morning. I apologize that I actually came in late. As Waziri will know, I actually only just arrived back from a government assignment out of the country, so I've got a red eye because I just flew overnight and I had to connect to actually join you in Mombasa because of this very important Editors Guild occasion. I will not make a long speech because I'm before my boss. He will actually speak most of the policy positions. But I'm here, first of all, delighted to join you on this 8th Annual Editors Guild Convention, which in fact has been, as said by the predecessors, an important forum that brings, in terms of also being innovative, because I think changes are constant. Your Excellency and ladies and gentlemen, the media sector is one of the foremost beneficiaries of the digital revolution in our country. It's actually underpinned by the current pillar, which is a digital superhighway and creative economy, which in fact is focusing at extending the digital cable across the country, 100,000 kilometers, establishing digital hubs across all the wards, elective wards across the country, and also establishing about 25,000 free Wi-Fi hotspots in the country. Once that ecosystem is established, the media obviously is one of the foremost beneficiaries because the citizens will be able to get in contact with the media and also be able to access all the content that the media will have actually released, targeted at the population. We expect the media industry to leverage the expanding ICT infrastructure, which is what I've mentioned, to create new opportunities for wealth and employment creation through the cutting-edge homegrown innovations. As a sector, obviously, we are also concerned, and I'm glad that, Madam President, you spoke to the embedded media freedom, but our view is that freedom also comes with responsibility. We notice that in some instances, there is a bit of misuse of misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, sometimes fake news that actually comes out. And obviously, the gullible public take what they see, what they read as gospel truth. And I'm glad that today's theme is actually about truth, technology, and all that. And it's important that we actually balance in terms of our news with facts and evidence, other than just fake news, which in fact, Kenya has actually been identified as one of the leading countries where you really cannot sometimes differentiate between that. So we will urge the media to also invest in development communication. That's really good for our country. Like I was driving up on this road, Malindi Road, and I see there's a lot of construction happening. That's evidence of infrastructure going on. There is actually work going on the ground. And we need to actually pick things like that and report. Obviously, in addition to the other aspects that you need to actually also report. So we urge the media to play, obviously, your self-regulation, and also encourage that you also play fair in the course of your oversight or your watchdog role as media. As I conclude, Your Excellency, let me also mention, and I think Madam President mentioned it, that we are actively working on reforming KBC. KBC is one of the state corporations that has actually been identified for transformation, working with the management and the board, and of course government through the CS. We're working on a turnaround plan that will actually ensure that KBC, amongst other media houses, plays its rightful role as a state broadcaster and also as a foremost sort of pioneer broadcaster in the country. We're also helping to recalibrate the Kenya News Agency, which we are aware that many of you actually tap from. I mean, the KNA reporters are actually embedded across the country, and through the arrangement you have with the KNA, many of the media houses tap into the news or any of the articles that KNA actually releases for the public consumption. We're also working on strengthening the Directorate of Information and Broadcasting to also become a key enabler for effective national government communication. This is in addition to also reviewing government communication policy, which obviously is underpinned by the Constitution, talking about transparency, accountability, and openness in terms of government programs and projects. With these few remarks, Your Excellency, I would now like to actually take this honor to invite you to deliver the keynote address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the CS Honorable William Kabogo.
Thank you very much indeed. Am I audible? Is this by mistake or by plan? Madam President, I want to acquaint myself with all the protocols that are here. I'm happy to be here this morning. And to start with, I was told that I called here at 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30. And I asked this young man here, what's going on there, because I was told to be there early. And he said, I'm here with the president. I said, what? Why would President Ruto come here without telling me? So he says, no, I am with Madam President of the Guild. I'm here not necessarily as a minister only, not only as a politician, but I enjoy being within journalists. Jerry, I know we've been together in Parliament for many years, and journalists and politicians are never good friends. But I myself have no issues with journalists. You have also seen that my PS had said he will speak generally and I will give policy. But as you have heard him, he knows more policy than generality. I enjoy this space because it is what it is. As I was coming in this morning, and many things happen against me by journalists, but I take them very positive. One is my haircut. They have a big issue with my haircut. And I tell them, it's okay, wivu ni sawa, because my baba is God. But your baba, you have to go to Githurai every other week to go and get a haircut. Then as I was coming in this morning, I opened X, and some guy called Jimmy has written here, tech team, we are migrating, this is Kabako saying, we are migrating to the cloud. And then I say again, muko na budget ya ndege ama munatumia matatu. These innovations are good. These things are good, said by journalists. The other day, also in my office, excuse me, I'm a little bit hot. Some journalists came to my office and I was seated on a low seat. And as you know, trousers go up when you sit down. And they made another one, and what do you call them? What? Memes. Oh, memes, those ones. Memes, those ones, yeah. And said I should, this is how Kabogo dresses. And the next time I met the young man who did that, I signed off a competition for those things. And he won 100,000 from me because of a very good job he did. It made me popular. So either way, journalism to me is a hobby. I like it. Mzee Njiro was one of the most feared ones those days. But you see, he's sitting here comfortably. During the Moi time, there are certain things you could not say. So media freedom is coming true. And working together in this space is important. I may not be able to respond to most of the things you have raised, Madam President, but generally, most of them are issues that are doable. One, as the PS has said in his policy statement, KBC is being restructured. I came in about 9 months ago, and the first thing I asked is how many people work for KBC. I was told approximately. So there wasn't a particular figure. And I said, let's do biometrics. It took 6 months to procure biometrics. It got to a point I wanted to procure and give it to them. And this is resistance. So we have now procured, and I think Agnes will bear me witness, we've saved close to 3 million shillings of pay per month. So that's part of the structuring. We're also hoping to be able to split public broadcasting and commercial broadcasting so that public broadcasting is financed by Treasury and the rest finances itself. So that is hot on my desk. I also want to assure you that you know that I'm a listening CS. My doors are open. Raise these issues and bring them to me so that they can become part of my diary on the things that are pending for me to do. And nothing far from anything that you have said to be true. We have seen sad stories that you have aired here on journalists being harassed, journalists being killed, and I want to tell you that that's not a government policy. It is work in progress. We have to find space to work together and also ask you to report fairly. Be fair in your reporting, and government should be fair in your treatment, because it is that information that members of the public need to know about their government, about their welfare, and all those other things that happen in this space. We've talked about timely payment. It's important, even for those who are Christians. You know that the Bible says for the work that you have done. So I have asked the ministry to make sure that all government advertising is paid on time. And this is something we have brought to Cabinet, and we will stop biting more than we can chew, meaning advertise only what you can pay. The other issue is the issue of monopoly. For government advertising to be done across and spread to everyone. I think that's a very fair ask. I'm sure there was a reason why that was done. But I will not sit here and promise you that I will continue to promote KBC as the only way, or Daybook as the only way, or MyGov as the only way of advertising. But of course, if you're a commercial entity and your job is to continuously hit on government, it's painful for government to continue putting money where you are. That's the truth. Because you can't continue bashing me as Kabogo and then I give you my adverts. There has to be some relationship. So let's build this relationship. I have a few people who had written something for me. I was tempted not to read because we've been here for a while and the PS has taken most of it. But allow me, if I do not do it, I shall be letting down my team. I want to thank you, Madam President. The short time I've been in office, we have continuously worked together. Also the union, as he has said, although sometimes a little bit of threats, which is fine, because that's his job. He told me one day, if I don't do this, you know what will happen to myself. So, and I think we're working well. We have an issue with post-corporation late payments, pension scheme not being paid. And the good news is I've gotten an approval from Cabinet to sell part of the land of Kenya Postal Corporation so that we can pay those debts. And we should be able to do that in the next 60 days or so. Fully pay the pending bills for Postal Corporation. Next we'll be doing KBC, also which is selling some land to be able to cater for restructuring and paying of their bills. Kwa hivyo mimi nafanya kazi, hata msiponipigia makofi ni sawa. Si niliwaambia mimi nimewazoea, nawazoea sana. Allow me to just go through this in a couple of minutes. I'll just be about an hour. Yes, an hour. I know you chose Mombasa yourselves. So if it's hot, we are suffering together. But the beauty is that I lived here. I started my working career in this town. Even though you're told I never went to college or something. I came here as a young graduate, and I worked for an NGO for, I think, for many years. After having worked for Controller and Auditor General for 3 months. And I was put in some confined office in Jogoo House. And there were files everywhere, including on top of the desk. And I was an audit assistant. And my job there was to check, audit, imprest of government employees who had disappeared with imprest, as they do today. And I was auditing files of people who had died. You know, he had taken interest in 1969 when Lee was very young. And he disappeared with interest and never paid. So for 3 months, I got really tired. I was having flu all the time because of the dust on the files. And I took off and I came to Mombasa. It is here that I started working. It is here that I started doing business. It is here that I made some money. Not the other business that you're told. So I'm happy to be back in this city. It's a city I love very much. I still have a home here. So those who will be around tonight, we may go and have uji, as Uhuru Kenyatta would say. And by the way, let's just congratulate those people who won by elections yesterday. Why is that clap not so heavy? I mean, it is what it is. Pole Kaleche, if you lost a candidate. It is an honor to join you here in Kilifi for the opening of the 8th Annual Kenya Editors Guild. This year's theme, Trust, Truth, Trust, and Technology, the place of journalism in the digital era. This speaks directly to the moment we are living through, both in a country and as a global society. The media sector, and particularly the editorial community gathered here today, continues to play a decisive role in informing national dialogue, promoting cohesion, and strengthening democracy. This convention offers an important opportunity to reflect on the journey of the Kenyan media. Far we have come, and to chart the path ahead with unity of purpose. Kenya's media has a long and distinguished history. From the early decades of our independence through the reform era of the 1990s and the democratic progress that followed. Journalism has been central to shaping our national consciousness. Editors and reporters have helped knit the country together by providing trusted information, elevating public debate, and shedding light on issues that demanded collective attention. We're indebted to the generations of the Kenyan journalists who built this tradition of professionalism, courage, and patriotism. Their legacy continues to inspire the work of today's newsrooms and remains a foundation on which we must build. As the information landscape evolves, the safety and welfare of journalists remain an important priority. The government is committed to ensuring that media professionals operate in an environment that enables them to carry out their duties effectively and with confidence. To this end, my ministry continues to strengthen collaboration with the Media Council of Kenya, the Communications Authority, security agencies, and other partners to promote professionalism, enhance mutual understanding, and support constructive engagement during the coverage of public events and national moments. These efforts reflect our collective commitment to an environment that upholds both press freedom and national stability. The role of editors in fostering trust has never been more important. Citizens today encounter unprecedented volumes of information from a wide range of sources, and they look to established media institutions to provide clarity, depth, and context. I wish to commend the Media Council for developing the revised Code of Conduct for Journalism Practice 2025, which reinforces the principles of accuracy, balance, and responsible reporting. As government, we reiterate our support for self-regulating and the autonomy of Media Council as provided in the Constitution. Strong professionalism institutions remain the cornerstone of vibrant and credible sector. Jameni, siyo inahitaji makofi. That's what you're asking from government, isn't it? We want you to self-regulate. I'm actually aware that the sustainability of the media sector is today one of the most pressing challenges. Traditionally, revenue streams have declined sharply, and digital advertising is dominated by global platforms. To address this structural shift, the government is actually engaged in dialogue with global technology platforms and local stakeholders on the evolving value of Kenyan context in the digital space. Our focus is on identifying balanced, future-looking approaches and ensure fairness while supporting innovations and growth across the industry. Additionally, delayed payments have weakened journalism. Delayed payments have weakened journalists' capacity to fulfill its public duty. To address these pressures, the government is reviewing the model of public advertising to ensure fairness, efficiency, and timely settlement of obligations. Historical pending bills owed to media houses are undergoing verification at the National Treasury, and we aim to resolve them as part of the restructuring of this sector. Beyond advertising reform, we are taking deliberate steps to strengthen the effectiveness of government communication. In this regard, I'm pleased to share that my ministry has developed the draft National Communication Policy and the Government Communication Strategy 2025-2028. These documents, which are currently undergoing stakeholder consultations, are designed to streamline how we engage with the public and the media. Our goal is to move towards a one government, one voice approach, anchored on the core principles of we care, we listen, and we act. By establishing a clear framework for coordination, including the proposed National Communication Center, we aim to improve the accuracy, timeliness, and consistency of the information available to you. Regulatory clarity is also essential. The ongoing review of Kenya Information and Communication Act and the Media Council Act is intended to modernize our regulatory framework and provide a clear delineation of roles. The aim is to ensure that the Communications Authority remains focused on infrastructure, spectrum, and digital safety, while the Media Council continues to lead on journalistic standards and professional conduct. Hata hiyo haina makofi. Yaani nyinyi mnataka kukaa tu watu boring tu Shauri yenu. A modern, confident, and effective public broadcaster is equally important for our national development. The KBC has served the country for decades and remains a platform with immense potential. My ministry is implementing a reform agenda that seeks to modernize its operations, enhance editorial independence, reaffirm its public service mandate, and ensure that it reflects the diversity and aspirations of the Kenyan people. A revitalized KBC will contribute meaningfully to public education, culture, innovation, and national unity. Sometimes it gets very hot at KBC, and people get emotional, but it is what it is. We have to do it. We have no choice. And I've told Madam Agnes that if it means we disband the board and the management, if that is the call we have to make, we will do it. At least if I'm still minister. You know, also this job is interesting. I hope I'll still be there to fix that problem. I see no reason why not to. The digital future offers immense possibilities from journalism in Kenya, the expansion of the digital superhighway, 100,000 kilometers of fiber. As the PS said, 1,450 digital hubs, 25,000 public Wi-Fis, connecting 57,000 government institutions is a serious plan. And this will take Kenya to the next level on this digital platform. I was speaking the other day to the French-Kenyan business community. And one fellow there in that panel that was discussing those issues, they said Africa will be left behind during this time of AI because AI requires big data and we don't have power to process big data. And I told that person, you are mistaken. Africa will be ahead of the rest of the world. We have enough sun to create enough power to run these things. And I say to them, you must stop looking at Africa with pity. We don't need to be pitied. We just need to be given our space. And soon we shall be donating to them. One is, I told them, we have the luxury of a young population. Sio, najua naweza sema mseme na sema vibaya. Sio kupenda kitanda, lakini sisi tumezaa. Na watoto wetu, 75% of our population is under the age of 30. Na wamesoma. We just need to enable them. They need to use these digital hubs in every village. We're taking a lot of BPOs from India. We're stealing their jobs, and our young men, boys and girls, are making huge money. We just need to create harmonized systems so that we can coexist with the Gen Zs. And I want you, because you have too many issues, Madam President, I want you to surrender one of the Gen Zs every 3 months to sit in my office and to keep putting pressure on us on the things that you have raised. So that there will be no excuse. And I know they can push. I know they can push. I know some people in my office will not be very happy because these young men and women, they know how to do these things. As we reflect on these issues, I want to emphasize that the relationship between government and the media is one grounded in partnership. We may approach issues from different perspectives, but our purpose is shared: to serve the public, strengthen democracy, and support the long-term stability of our republic. Responsible governance and responsible journalism complement one another. Together, they form the fabric of a nation that values truth, fairness, and unity. As we open this convention, I encourage you to deepen reflection on how truth, trust, and technology can reinforce, not undermine one another in this new era. Kenya's media has a proud history of shaping public consciousness, safeguarding accountability, and informing national debate. Your role remains indispensable to our democracy and to the future of our society. With these remarks, it is my honor and it's my distinct honor to declare the 8th Annual Kenya Editors Guild Convention officially open. I want to particularly thank Mr. Njiru, because at some point he invited us to his home. And I think I was only a month old in office. And I'm wondering what has happened to the generosity, because now I'm deep in office. If you could invite us there again, I will probably pay for the mbuzi, so that we can continue talking to each other. Asante sana mzee. Mpigieni makofi huyo mzee. Kwa kifupi, yale nimesema ni msimamo wa serikali, na msimamo wa serikali ni kuwa tufanye hii kazi tukiwa pamoja na tujenge taifa letu tukufu la Kenya. Asanteni sana na mbarikiwe sana.
Thank you very much.
Stage for a panel discussion for a few minutes.
No, I have to answer.
Okay.
Makofi tena kwa Bwana Waziri. And Bwana Waziri had said that atakuwa hapa for 3 hours, but anasema anakimbia kwa mkutano nyingine. And we wanted to have a very quick panel discussion with him, but he will be represented in that panel by the Principal Secretary, Bwana Isaboke. So you've been given that mandate. So I think before we proceed with the program, let me invite Madam President to the stage to give a small token of appreciation to Bwana Waziri.
Asante sana, Prof. We were hoping to have you on the panel, but because you have to rush somewhere, allow us to invite you back to receive a small token from the team, from Kenya Editors Guild team. But kwanza kabisa, we were waiting to hear from you where Bwana President is. Maybe ni wewe utajibu. Unajua kuna Madam President na kuna Mr. President. Please, welcome back. And Adala, please.
Thank you. Mheshimiwa Rais ako katika ziara rasmi za kujenga taifa, anafungua barabara ya Rironi kwenda Mau Summit. Makofi jameni kwa Mheshimiwa Rais. See, I have done my job.
I don't know why this is not working. So we are going to present 2 tokens, one for the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable William Ruto, There is more. Please, council members, please join me so that we take one quick photo before the VP leaves. Please, council members, join me on stage. Oh, before the CS leaves. Ni vile nilikuwa naangalia VP akanikoroga. So we also have a certificate to the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology. And this is a token to you, Mr. William Kabogo, Honorable. Thank you so much for supporting the media sector in Kenya. Oh, amesema anataka kuangalia nini iko ndani. Ameona. So that is yours. And then Bwana PS, please join us. Oh, he's here. Okay. This is for Bwana PS. Madam CEO, umpatie Bwana PS zawadi. Tumpatie makofi tafadhali. So this is the Executive Council. So we take a quick photo before you leave. Okay, asante.
I wish I could stay.
It's okay, asante. Thank you so much. So the CS is begging to leave, but the PS will be around. He will join us for the next session. So let me invite back the moderator of the session, Professor Nyabuga. Thank you.
Asante sana waziri na Madam President. And before we proceed, musitoke. Before we proceed with the next agenda item, let me recognize the presence of my former colleague, the CEO of the EACC, Bwana Mohammed.